2014, a beautiful destruction happened in my life, that my life fell apart. I lost my job. A fire broke out in my previous apartment complex. My business was hanging by a thread, unstable relationships, but most of all, I was lost. I felt like I did not have control of my life. The chaos in my life was overwhelming and it consumed me till I couldn't take it anymore. I knew there was something wrong for a long time, but I did not know how to change it. It was in those moments that when my back was against the wall and I finally had to look at my life with a keen eye. You see, while my life was falling apart, it was coming together differently. I had a chance to look at my mess that I mentally, physically, spiritually, and emotionally built up along the way. Nevertheless, that all that mess that I created was not created by me, but I knew I had to respond. I had to take responsibility to take care of it. Then I knew that I knew I could not keep my old identity that I created with my chaos. I needed to embrace a new identity that was truly authentic to me. In time, my vision and my path became clear. I cleaned up my mess in my life that haunted me and even started to explore my mind and channel things that I really excelled at. My beautiful destruction set me out on a journey of awareness and self-discovery. Through my reflection, I found a sense of identity, self-proclaimed freedom, and nevertheless, my voice. Now, why am I telling you this story? What does that have to do with mind mastery? Well, it has everything to do with it. We all go through some form of chaos in our lives. Nevertheless, 2020 raised a lot of issues that we have not seen coming. This illustrated chaos that we are seeing in our world and homes are mirrors that we ignored for a long time. We have been constantly reacting to our life choices to the point that we have not stopped to think whether those choices were best for us. Our mirrors are smoky to the point that we cannot even see our images clearly. This year challenged us to look into the mirror to reflect on an image and understand our condition from another perspective. In my case, I was scared to see my reflection clearly because of perceived perception and the judgment that might fall upon me when I stood up for what I believed in. I know it was in my head, but I did not want to face it until my world started falling apart. Direct and indirect chaos affect us personally and professionally. And if left unchecked, it can lead to life-altering events that can be a breakthrough or at times unfortunate. 2020 has challenged us in our minds to take a keen eye to what we're experiencing and why. It is time to step out of our reflectiveness and start to reflect on our experiences so we can eventually walk into mastery. We affect our environments and also our internal world. The question is, how can we navigate our minds during the midst of chaos? Through my journey, I discovered lessons along the way on how to move into looking at my situation from a different perspective. The first thing that I started to do, and one of my lessons, is to start to acknowledge everything around me. Start to really take a pause and process what am I experiencing. One of the things that part of being reactive is that you're constantly going, but you're not really stepping back and really processing what we're experiencing. So taking that pause and processing it basically move us in the path of minimizing that chaos. The second thing I did is weigh the pros and cons. That's a huge lesson. What was working and what was not working for me. And then the reason why that is very, very important is because those pros and cons really show us the truth of what our condition is. And the last one for acknowledgement is claiming responsibility for what part you play in the situation. I had to claim my responsibility. And, you know, not only that I acknowledge the external world, but I had to forgive myself for that aspect of it. So the next point I did is embrace a growth mindset. And that's one of the biggest things that we want to do when we want to walk in the path of minimizing our chaos. And we want to constantly become an avid learner of life. We want to learn, and like, you know, not everything is set in stone, and like learning is a process of evolving. The second thing is gathering different perspectives of how to view a situation before making an informed decision. That is a very great way to embrace the growth mindset, not looking at a problem from one aspect, but looking at a problem from multiple aspects. The last but not least, give grace to yourself and learn when to let go any situation. We are our hardest critics, and in order to get to the next level of mastery or regulate our emotions, we do need to forgive ourselves and the people around us. The last lesson that I learned is humility. Every experiences teach us a lesson, whether we directly or indirectly. The chaos that we're going around happening in 2020, it's a lesson for us to step back and really take a mirror, look at ourselves in the mirror. The last but not least, listen to our environment, listen to ourselves and the environment that we're in. And one of the reasons why we do have to listen to ourselves is because that intuitive voice that we have within us is basically teaching us lessons alongside the environment and the people that we basically work and talk to, engage with along the way. During my chaos, mindless behaviors was born. I started my journey of building the platform in November 2014, and it finally launched into October 2018. With a lot of discipline, utilizing my artistic side and hard work, I actually found my voice. So Mindless Behaviors is a social experiential platform that raises awareness about deeply rooted issues that scarcely vocalized in society. We are creating conversations that open minds to new perspective and alternative ways of thinking. Our organization offers individual effective communication tools that increases self-awareness, enhance perception, and implement problem-solving tactics in our everyday lives. I have multiple initiatives within the platform, live events, workshop, and my book that just came out October 2020 and more. My mission is to walk people from being reflective to reactive to reflective in their lives. So I leave you with this. Life is not happening to you, but it's happening for you. Seize every moment and learn from them. The lessons are our greatest teachers and mirrors. Thank you.